everybody, we're going to be going milling today. We're going to be doing some maple milling for the one maple log up top. It's a November, nice day, a little brisk, but not extremely cold, but not extremely warm. So maybe brisk is the wrong word. It's not, it's a nice day. Typical November weather in the Fraser Valley. Here we roll. Okay, so what do we have? We've got our milling chainsaw, the 881. It's got a 461 just for any troubles I might have with the log that I need to deal with, if there's any kind of leveling or changing the lengths. Drill with Robertson bit, some stickers after we cut the top off, some wedges, ladder for milling, and our gas and oil. The mill is set with 6 inches in here, so in theory the ladder goes on top, which is about 3 inches or so, and then you're cutting off 3 inches of wood, which then gives you that flat surface. So we're just taking off the cap today, the cap of the top of the log. Here you got the rounded log, we're taking off the cap. Taking off something like this, actually. Those are caps. I call them caps. Taking off the top. Your top board. This is spruce or hemlock, I guess. I don't know what to do with that exactly, but worst case scenario, it's firewood. And I think that's all she wrote. So let's get up there and roll. Put her in 4-wheel drive. We're going up to not an awkward spot, but it's not an easy spot. I'll turn you around here. We're going up here, which has got a little bit of a hill. Bear with me. We're in 4-wheel and we're giving her. That was greasy. That was greasy, boys and girls. That was greasy. I don't know if this is wise. Actually, it's greasier than I thought it would be. Let's go up this way. Okay. I didn't think I would make it up that after I started it out. I didn't think it was that greasy. Back up. Let's get you up here. I don't know if that's gonna work for you. Pretty good. We're going up there. Pretty greasy right now. I didn't get a lot of momentum on that one, so I think I'm gonna stay there. I'll turn the wheel this way, put on my brake. Not the best for the door, but at least the door is being held there. So I'll show you where we're going up here. So we have to carry this stuff. There's our log over here. It's not a very big log. It's actually a perfect length for this milling, taking the top off. I'm just gonna come and inspect it. A little bit of a distance to walk. I think I'll put it this way, and we'll put the ladder here. I don't like that. big split there. That probably runs the whole length of the log. Right there, eh? Can I get around that? If I do put the ladder on an angle, then it will cut kind of parallel to this, which would be the best. We've got a split here too. Can't win either way, but let's do it. So we'll put the ladder on this end, on this side. Go from there. So I'm just gonna put it on fast forward and you can watch me hike the stuff over here. All right, packing this beast in. It's probably closer to what it was like for the old loggers when they used to pack in the big saws in there. I mean, it's still not close to what they did, but it's definitely closer than packing in today's saw. So that thing's 25 pounds as it is. Add on all that, you're talking this is like 50 pounds. And they were probably slugging around 75, 100 pound stuff easy. All right, let's get this ladder on here. So let's see what I can do with one hand. So I'm thinking like that. And then we're cutting it kind of on like this. Any further, I think we'll get in trouble with those branches over there. I think right there is the perfect place for it, as long as my screws. I mean, I could angle a little bit more. Then I gotta go down and kill those branches a bit. I might do it there. So then the screws will actually go through. Let me just tack one right there. Bear with me. I've only got one hand at the moment. So let's tack one right there. Can I reach my drill? Yeah, I can, just barely. So we're gonna tack this right there. So the point in the ladder, because what we're doing, you're cutting a curved edge, right? You put a ladder on top that gives you a straight edge, and then the saw can cut the first flat piece there, and then once we cut that first flat piece, then we can just keep going from there. My theory is, if we cut it here, then we can maybe roll this with the PV back so it's flat, so we're not kind of always on an angle. Otherwise, this end here is going to dig into the ground. So I'm going to go and put this ladder on right now. And what I do is I've tacked it. I've cut, or I've drilled some holes in the middle of this old ladder. It's a nice straight ladder. It had some issues, that's why it's been donated to the milling cause. Bear with me here. I'm going to go along and drill those rungs in, and then I'll see how secure this feels. See right here, I don't know if that's going to be long enough to go. Yeah, see, that's not doing much, but it is doing something. Last one here. See, I'll be up there on it, eh? I think I am going to take those out and push it over a bit so I have better support. Right now, those screws are not going in the way they should. Something like that. Now is that's better. Is how much of an angle that has to go down there, because my saw is going to be really tilted. So let's see if I can go get those branches down there. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle here because see that slant on her that hard? I got room to cut it. But if I go along there and cut that whole thing, when I get to the end, the whole thing's just gonna slide right down. I'm gonna have a big mess. So I think I better, and I can't roll that log, it's just too heavy. That's on a hillside here, you can't, from my, the filming up here never does justice to how hilly it really is. I'm on a hillside here. It's being held up by some root balls and branches over here. So I'm kind of in a precarious spot. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move the ladder more over so it's on top a little bit better, you'll see. And then I think that's the best. I think that's the best scenario. I really do. Move the ladder over. And then I'm cutting, I'm cutting a little bit through. The only thing I like about this is it's cutting in line with the split there. But I don't know how far that split goes in, to be honest. So I'm not gonna compromise safety for a little split in the log. Let's fix it up. So there we have it. It's a little bit less angled. And it's kind of cutting on the side there. I got the angle, you can see the nice straight edge up here. So bear with me here. I'm gonna zoom out slightly. It's a little bit too much maybe. Start up the saw and we'll go along and we'll do a cut. Let's see if the oil comes through. All right, it's getting cool. This is a beast to start. Good. So now I'll put the wedges in, keep it up from binding on itself. So just from experience with the wedges, when you put the wedges in, it makes it really easy to move. So I'm actually going to take the wedges out, so when it comes to the end, it sits down and it doesn't slide. That's the plan. I'm going to take it out. It seems counterintuitive, but if I don't, I think the whole thing's just going to slide right off. Yeah, that worked out well. Pulled it down a bit, but if I had the wedges in there, that whole thing just would have went whoop. And then I would have had a 150-pound piece of wood. to fart around with to get it up there, so that worked out. So let's take the ladder off and see what we got. This is always the most exciting part. Oh man, that's heavy. Ooh, that's pretty cool looking. I made a few little marks with it, but it's got some neat colors in it here. So we should, I'm gonna get a tape measure. We should be able to cut that whole thing. Yeah. There'll be some pretty sweet slabs coming out of there. Okay. I'm gonna put some stickers on top here just to keep it up so it doesn't get all kind of weird moisture between it. So let's get that done. From there. Thought I could. Good. Alrighty. We did her. So that's the top's done. Now I can move the Alaskan mill to whatever depth I want to cut those boards at for these ones. It's hard to say. I have a lot of 2.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches planks, but maybe I should do some thicker ones for people who want to do like a cool 6-inch mantle. Tough to say. I think a mantle, the 6-inch mantle one would look really good there right now. Like a 6 inches would take me down to there. Heavier than snot though, that's the trouble. But maybe a 6-inch cut, then we'll use the Grandberg mill and cut off the one side. And you have a live edge here, which would be really good looking. This will look really good. And that might be something to do. Except I don't know how we pack that bugger out of here. These are heavy boards. Dense wood. But that's the fun of it, right? Of what do you want to do with it? I'll think about it. So it's time to get things packed up again. Just takes almost just as long to get stuff out here and packed in and packed out than it does to do the job itself. If there was more daylight, I would be putting that saw down and cutting more, but at the same time, I don't really know. Excuse me. I have to think about how getting this out of here because we cannot get the truck up here very well, or the tractor. Not this type of year. Maybe in freeze up. If the ground freezes, then I can get it up to there at least, backed up. We only have about 40 feet to pack it. That's maybe what we could do. But it's hard to say how much this weighs. I would say if I cut it 6 inches, minimum 200 pounds. Maybe. Nice area up here. Very steep. This is at least 30 degrees here. You can't tell the steepness on film. All right, everybody. That was our fun for today. Let's pack her up and head her back home. Over and out. So we're gonna head back, get everything packed up, head back. It's a nice day today. Not too hot, not too cold, not raining. It's beauty. Well, that was fun. That was a less than 45 minutes, an hour of packing the stuff up, packing it in again, bringing it out, taking off the top layer, taking off the caps. Then we can go to town and just start milling away. The only hard part about that one is getting a vehicle to the actual wood. That we'll have to work on. Until next time, have a good one.